All right, so this is the current picture right now. I think we're going to probably drop a little bit, but it doesn't really move us, I don't think.
Yeah.
So Indiana, I think, is done. They're done.
Yes.
They are
It might
done.
be. It might be
They
done.
got
It
blown
might
out
not
This
by
is
be.
done.
Ohio State. We did not. Um, so they're done. So they're out. So we got Oregon, Texas, Miami, Boise State. Then you probably got Ohio State. Um, us in the playoff. I think we're not moving in there. We got playoff number 6, and then you got Notre Dame. Then you got Alabama, Ole Miss, and then
Well, no, Ole Miss lost today. They're done.
Yeah, they
okay,
all
so you
missed
got
one. That's the thing. They're
They're-
done.
They're
you'll
done,
have
ski man.
you'll have Alabama, BYU, and then someone else has got to sneak in there.
Tennessee or
Yep.
somebody else in the SEC.
Yeah, yep. Alyssa's right. Ole Miss is out. So,
They're
but
done.
yeah,
Ski.
that's what we're looking at right now. So someone's gonna sneak in. We're not moving, but
I'm
I
glad
really,
Ole Miss is
God,
out.
I
Yeah.
do think at some point we're not gonna see Georgia. I think they're gonna end up moving. So they may move up. Do you think they'll move up? So they're gonna move up. They'll be out of our bracket, right?
Well, Georgia
Yeah.
played, dude. They played UMass today, and they let UMass score like 30 points. So I don't know if they have any
21.
reason.
Because
That's
of Ole
bad.
Miss, they're gonna move up. I think they're gonna move up. So we're gonna.
BYU
so-
lost.
We're gonna end up getting. Who are we gonna get? We're gonna get maybe BYU in our bracket.
No,
right?
BYU's lost.
Or
They
Notre
lost to
Dame,
Arizona
even.
State.
We might get Notre
Well, it
Dame,
doesn't.
man.
It doesn't matter, Jared.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
because
doesn't
they're
matter. The Big
yeah.
12. The
Yeah,
Big 12
you're
is
right.
so trash that I think
My
BYU's
brain,
still
yep.
a winner.
Georgia
Mhm.
stinks, yeah.
BYU will be in still, right?
What's that, BYU?
Yeah.
The Big 12, dude, the Big 12 is a mess right now. I have no idea who's going from there because Colorado lost, BYU lost. So, like, what's going on? Stupid stuff said Georgia stinks. That's the smartest thing. So, yeah, smart stuff.
All right. So we got. Let me see here. Big 12 standings. I'm gonna pull it up. Oh God. Standings.
Oh, by the way, real quick, James Franklin, this is the first time in his tenure that he's won every game on the road in the season. Got to
Yeah.
give it to him.
Wow, yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
First time ever.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Got-
good.
I will
man.
give
Good
that,
for him.
yeah.
First time
Yeah,
ever.
and today was a really gutsy win, so good for him and his team.
Very.
He
Yep.
kept Alarcom. But
Yep.
all right, so this is what we're looking at here right now in terms of the standings in the Big 12. Okay, so we got looks like Arizona State is going to be in.
Arizona State looks good.
I think
They
we're going
do.
to end up having it. I think we're going to end up with Arizona State at our house.
That scares me because the
That's
running back, Scadaboo is his name. Really cool name. He's really good. So, and our run defense was very bad to start the game. Got a little bit better, but we got to tighten up.
Man, I'll tell you what. Today, I was watching the ESPN thing again, where they're breaking down the bracket,
Mhm.
and Kirk Herbstreit, the total moron that he is, he's standing there like breaking it down. He's like with his pointer, and he's like Ohio State, they could play BYU, and then they could play Boise State, and he's sitting there like smiling. He's like, dude, why are you so biased, dude? Like that's literally so unprofessional. Like he's such a weirdo, man. Like
Well,
Too
but
hot.
Mark,
so
didn't I say the same thing to you yesterday when we were talking about our brackets? Like, that is like the easiest thing you can have. That is
Yeah, and he's
easy
like-
straight for
and he's like
Ohio
sitting there
State.
smiling, like, "Oh, that's great." It's like, Kirk, you're on a national freaking show. Like, you're not supposed to be biased, and you're so obvious about it. You make Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson is just like the next generation of Ohio State bias.
What
Yeah,
is
I
the
think
name
they
of the-
keep-
What is the name of the
Yeah.
ESPN analyst who is he's a bald guy, older with really, really big ears, glasses. Paul
Paul Feinbaum.
something. Oh my God.
He's
Dude,
a
if there was a
moron.
guy, if there was a guy I would just love to just be able to punch like a punch me clown, it would be that guy. There's
Oh,
no
he's-
one I hate who talks more about Penn State. He is so biased when it comes to who he talks about. The
I
way
would-
he just, it's
I would
awful.
say
Like,
yeah, I would say his wife doesn't like him, but I can assure you I don't think he's married because who would marry that guy?
A cactus.
Well, he first of all, I think Biden looks like David Cook's puppet. You know, his when I'm talking about it, his puppet that talks. But dude, Paul Feinbaum looks more like that puppet than I think Biden does. There's another thing that Paul Feinbaum looks like. He looks like is it Dave Cook's puppet? There's someone else that looks like Paul Feinbaum looks just like him. But yeah, depending on how the Big Ten championships, which I think against us, and let the loser take the fifth spot. So you guys commenting, how do you think the playoff ends up?
We'll be 6.
Yep. Stupid stuff said.
Change your name, bud. You are the smartest stuff.
He's a
skinny. Paul Feinbaum looks like the Muppet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one dumb comment yet from them, so I'm enjoying
right.
that. Is that an oxymoron? Because I swear.
Well, stupid stuff.
Emphasis
named,
on the last syllable.
that one episode we were recording, he named Joe's favorite player, and that's like some history right there.
Yeah.
It was Joe Paterno's favorite player of all time. He played in like the 50s. He's like, that's the greatest football player I've ever seen in my life. And that was like 1954 or something. The Muppet in the balconies. Yeah, he looks like the Muppet in the balconies. Lenny Moore. Yep. Thanks, stupid stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
But he
that's
said
definitely an
Lenny Moore
oxymoron.
But he said Lenny Moore was the best football player he ever saw. And that was like 2008 when he said that.
From the 50s, I'm going to have to ask. If my grandfather was still alive, I'd ask him, but I mean, he was born in like 30.
My two oldest uncles were still alive.
But what do you guys think? You guys commenting, what do you think about the playoff picture here? Do we get Arizona State? Because BYU's out, so Arizona State would be 12, but I think they move to 11, and then someone else gets in at 12.
Good for
Arizona. Ole Miss is out, Indiana's out. That's 3 teams that are knocked out. All right, so we got 3 slots to fill, and we're going to end up getting probably Arizona State or one of the other 2 teams that gets put in. Like who else is put in? Ranking wise, who is put in? So we're going to have to look at the top 25 again.
Yeah, it's such a mess right now, dude. I couldn't tell you which way is up after all the losses today and everything. But hey, good for Arizona State. They've been on life support for a long time. I'm happy for them, man. Dillingham, their coach, he's like 36, young head coach, and he's really doing things
there for a while.
Yeah, he was terrible there.
Was terrible.
And Dillingham is turning that thing around. They won like a couple games last year. They're like what, 8-2 or something right now, 9-2. They're killing it, man.
All right, so we got Tennessee, SMU, right?
Yep.
That's who we got that can get in. What conference is SMU in?
ACC, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's up in
SMU's getting in this weekend. Tennessee's getting in this weekend in the playoff. A&M's probably getting in. So that's who we're looking at. We're looking at A&M, Tennessee, and SMU to get in. So we're going to end up matching up against this week because Georgia's moving up. There's no doubt. Yeah. We're going to end up matching up against
whoever be the 10th spot, whoever.
We're going to end up against probably Tennessee this week.
Yeah, we'll probably stay at 6, don't you think?
We're staying at 6.
Oh, yeah.
Top 25, we're moving down. Yeah. Top 25, I think we're moving down, but we're not moving from 6. So
maybe
we're
one.
Going to see Tennessee.
Yeah, who's going to jump us? Who's going to jump us? That's a good question because we won.
Top 25?
So. Yeah, who's going to jump?
Notre Dame?
Notre Dame might. I mean, I don't know. We played not good today, so I don't know. Maybe not.
But it was on the road.
I mean,
it was 6
to me, it's just like to me, it's just like it's Penn State. Common sense. We're gonna get bumped down because we're Penn State, but maybe not. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? If you take those special team bull crap out, we're close to covering. So I mean, it would have been. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're close. So it's just weird how it happened.
So these guys are commenting. Who was trashing us at the end of the Texas game?
What? Just probably fans or like.
All right. So the Muppet in the balconies of, I think he's talking about the Grinch. Or not the
Stanford
Grinch.
and Waldorf. Statler and Waldorf. That's their names. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Statler and Waldorf.
I
Those
think-
are the two Muppets up in the balcony.
I was thinking of the Christmas movie, not the grumpy guy, not the Grinch, the other guy. It's a Christmas movie, like the Muppets did it.
Christmas Carol?
No, like
No.
the grumpy dude. Is it a Christmas Carol? I don't know. It's like it's the one, Brett. Like
Who-
who
The
the
Grinch?
Muppets movie? It's a grumpy dude. It's a Christmas movie. Like, they have the two guys in the balconies that sing.
I don't know, dude.
McScrooge, isn't it? McScrooge or something like that.
Scrooge? That name.
Ebenezer. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer
Yeah.
Scrooge, yeah.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Okay, yeah, that's.
There's some guys. I think there's a character in that he looks like too. Paul Feinbaum.
So the whole
But I don't
time,
know
that's
who
what
he's
we're trying to
talking
figure.
But I'm just glad Colorado lost. Me too. Announcers. Oh, they were trashing us at the end of the Texas game today.
Really?
What was that?
Like the Texas commentators for their game?
Would have been ESPN then. Whoever was calling that. Who was calling that? It wasn't Greg McElroy because he called a game at 12 o'clock. I remember. Greg
McElroy is too classy to do such a thing.
No, yeah, and he called the Florida game. By the way, Florida beating Ole Miss. Ole Miss is out. So yeah, that's.
By the way, freaking Greg McElroy, man, what a guy! I love that
Yeah,
guy.
I like him.
He was in the 2-A-Days show on MTV. All of us should remember that. But Jared, you might not, because well, you might if you watch sports. I mean, you didn't play sports. So I don't know if were you into that show.
No. I didn't play sports,
Brett,
but no, I know what you're saying.
The show.
What?
No.
2-A-Days?
2-A-Days the show. You don't remember that show?
No.
I remember it, but I don't know if I really watched it. You know what I'm saying?
So
like I remember.
Two-A-Days was about Hoover, Alabama high school football.
Okay.
The coach, I can't remember his name right now, but he was on a Netflix show recently where they covered a team. He was coaching Valdosta, Georgia.
Okay.
Gosh darn it! I'm gonna find his name, but it was 2-A-Days. Greg McElroy was one of the first quarterbacks in that show, and he went on to Alabama and won a national title. I mean, that dude is like, I love that guy.
Yeah, I like him.
He's a great addition to just football in general. He's going to be at Fox someday. But anyway, so yeah, again, what do you guys think is going to, like, if you guys could give your thoughts on who gets into the playoff race along with who we're going to match up again, who do you guys think in the comments? And
I think Tennessee.
Texas A&M. You said Texas A&M might get in. They are currently losing to Auburn 14-0.
Who?
That's a trap game. Auburn's terrible. Yeah.
Who's losing to Auburn?
Texas A&M. Texas A&M is playing. They're playing at Jordan Hare. So yeah, that's not good.
I'll be right back, guys. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think it could be. Jared and you guys were saying Tennessee. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think we might get Tennessee at home. I mean, they have 2 losses. All they got to do is beat Maryland, and they're not much better than Purdue. So we can't take them lightly because after what happened today, you never know what's going to happen. But Maryland is not Minnesota by any means. So we should be able to handle. We should be able to beat the doors off them because Maryland's our little brother, like our little step brother, like that we don't fully love, So we'll just beat them up, put them in a headlock, and watch them squirm. So I don't know.
Yeah, noogie. But yeah, it's definitely a winnable game. It's not a trap game by any means. It's the last home game for Penn State. Is it homecoming weekend? Like this is the last one they're using for the homecoming?
Homecoming was a while ago.
Okay. More senior day. Maybe senior day. That's it. I knew there was something.
Yeah. It's senior.
I knew it was something associated with this game.
Yeah. But
yeah, I mean they're like what, 4-6, 4-5, something like that. I mean, shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I know that for the standings, I feel like obviously it's going to be Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, us. Notre Dame should be fifth. And then number 6, I mean, you're probably looking at
Alabama might move up. I don't know.
They might.
They could.
Let's see here.
Alyssa said,
I mean, Miami might actually go to 6 or 7. I don't know. That's an option.
Alyssa was saying that McElroy was one of the guys who said Warren is number 3, maybe on like his list. So that's cool that he's putting him in there because you should.
Yeah.
He's got over 900 yards receiving, over 100 some yards rushing. So he's got over 1,000 total yards as a tight end, which is just insane. In Power 4 conference. So
it's you can't beat that. In the regards of like tight end position, it's not something you see every day where a guy's pretty much being everything. I finally saw him punt today, so now I can say he does kick too. There's nothing he can't do. I mean, the only thing he has left to do is when there's a play going on, they go to the sidelines. Instead of James Franklin, he has the headset on. He called a play. Like, I mean, it's the only thing he has left to do on the field. Yep. Maybe go up to the booth and commentate on the game too. I mean, maybe he can be a sideline interviewer. I mean, I'm saying we can find we can ref. I mean, I'm just saying we can find every position that he has not yet done. He might do it at some point. So it's definitely one of the best storylines I think we can ask from a Penn State player because we all talk about Drew Aller. We all talk about the running game with Singleton and Allen. And again, the defense is always the prolific thing. We're known for it. But Tyler Warren, it's kind of like he was 44. Like I remember like the game before the USC game, I was like, man, this dude's having a game, whoever this guy is. And then Tyler Warren was the guy that came up and then second half of the USC, I'm like, there's only one way this happens is if we score on the opening drive, because I knew we were going to get the ball back, and we did. I don't know if that was Warren who got the touchdown. But
he scored on that and ran down. Yep.
Yeah. So that was like they scored on that drive. So it's like, all right, so we're within like 10 or 13 or whatever it was. I'm like, we get the ball back, you never know. And then the next drive, we had a huge play and the great touchdown again. And it's like, all of a sudden now we're within a touchdown of the whole thing, and we just came back and took care of business. And I thought that was the most impressive road win for James Franklin. It was a great statement by Penn State. We got to be the third best team in the Big Ten because, again, Oregon is the billion-dollar baby because they have the most NIL money, and Ohio State is Ohio State. Like, they're just never going to not be those two prolific schools. So, it's really nice to know that we have slated ourselves in this 12-team playoff for sure. I mean, could we go somewhere with it? You don't know. I mean, it's definitely – an opportunity. Like, think of it like that, I mean, it's like the Little Giants thing, it just leaves one time. Like, that's all you're looking for. Just give me this one time in the playoffs and see what happens. Because, dude, if that were to happen, like, let's just have some fun with this. Let's be fantasy about it. Say we do go all the way and we win a national championship. And then next year, if Aller and Singleton and all them come back and they do it all over again, but they actually have the best version of their team, I mean, it would be so awesome to see this team do something like that. So I can't say that they're one of the best stories for sure. I mean, they definitely have not done anything wrong outside of the Ohio State game. And I just feel like we're definitely having an opportunity to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Warren for Heisman. That's kind of what it's coming down to. The dude's an absolute beast.
Hold on a sec, guys.
Yeah, like no matter what, that's another thing about Texas. They're getting into the SEC title game. They're going to lose. Then do they still get in? And Ohio State, if they lose to Oregon, do they still get in? That's another question. So is Texas getting in with 2 losses? And is Ohio State getting in with 2 losses? Because I think Oregon beats Ohio State again. And then I think Texas loses the SEC title game to whoever they play. I mean, so what are we looking at there, too? What are we looking at with a 2-loss Texas, 2-loss Ohio State? Are they getting in?
A 2-loss Texas is just bad because they haven't played. Their schedule is dog crap. And
They
scheduling
played Georgia and
Michigan,
lost.
but in scheduling Michigan out of conference was a good game before the season, before we thought Michigan was going to be awful. And so good for them for scheduling Michigan, but they got baby Michigan. So I mean, they didn't get the same team.
So, Illicit thinks Indiana's still getting in at 9.
They probably
So
still
you don't
will.
think? So you think Indiana is still in?
Probably.
I would switch. I mean, I'm just going off the list, Illicit, but I would say move Tennessee to 9 and maybe even Boise State to 10 and put Indiana 11. That's just mine. Other than that,
So
I really like that.
got-
I really like that list. I really do like Notre Dame
Illicit's
5th,
got-
Bama 6.
Well, where are we at in there?
We're
Illicit?
4. We're 4.
Oh, he's talking about the top 25.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think? Okay, so what do we? Okay, so Illicit with whoever's listening. So with a 2-loss Texas and a 2-loss Ohio State, what are we looking at there? Because we got. Okay, so we could run into Indiana then.
But I'm not going to lie, that I am curious to see how we would play against that team. I mean, not that they would because again, we talked about the Ohio State game at home. We lost 2013. It was a bad game. But you look at what Indiana gave up against Ohio State at one point. I mean, eventually they just
we're
completely fell
We're not
apart.
losing to Indiana, man.
No, we're not. And
Indiana
also,
is Indiana, dude. They're still Indiana.
I don't think we would lose to them after that game. Also, the Ohio State Buckeyes has a new name, and after 2 weeks in a row, they are officially the Ohio State Luckeyes because they got back-to-back games where the opposing team was going to punt the ball, and their punter could not catch the ball. So they got the ball at the 10-yard line and got easy touchdowns back-to-back weeks. And then they blocked something else, too. So they just get lucky every week, man. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Ohio State gets a lucky player to every game that gives them a touchdown. So it is what it is. The game was much closer before that happened, and then that just sent it off the rails. You know what I mean? So the Ohio State Buckeyes, congratulations. You guys are morons. You guys are lucky morons.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, with Kirk Herbstreit, Gus Johnson, and their whole fan base, morons is definitely a good word. So we got so Illicit thinks that Indiana is going to 12. Okay, so because Tuesday night, what I might do, Jared, if you're available, I might just do a show during the playoff reveal, which I haven't done yet. I haven't even watched the playoff show yet.
I have.
I haven't.
So we got Oregon 1. No one in the top 4 is moving, I think. So you've got Ohio State 5, of course. I think we stay, and then you've got Notre Dame at 7, Alabama at 8.
Okay.
Georgia at 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alabama 10. 11 is
Alabama beat Georgia, so they might stay above them. It's hard to know. It could be interchangeable.
All right. So, Alabama. Yeah, I have Alabama above Georgia.
Okay.
So we got. All right. So this is what we're looking at here. Okay. So we got. Before I forget, we got. What the heck? All right. So we got. So where was I? We got Notre Dame 8 because Notre Dame's up right now to Army, that's a good win because they're undefeated. Yeah. You got Notre Dame 8, Alabama so we got Notre Dame 7, Alabama 8, Georgia at 9.
Yep.
And then you got I guess BYU at 10, and then 11 and 12. Indiana's 12. Who's 11?
Well, no, Arizona over BYU. Arizona State over BYU. Yeah.
Yeah, BYU. He's right.
Yeah, Arizona State.
So Arizona State. I'm sorry, Arizona State, not BYU. Arizona State will be what? 10, right?
Something like that.
And then someone will be at 11, which will be who knows, but Indiana is either 11 or 12 going off of what Illicit said. But yeah, he said they want to put 4 SEC teams in the 4 Big 10 teams in the big thing that a lot of analysts talked about the championship focus. Feels like they're pushing for championship. Yeah, so they're focusing on the team with less losses and the championship games. All right, so okay, so now at the end of the season, it's going to be Oregon. It's going to be who? Bama, right? Because they're going to beat Texas. Okay, so it's going to be Oregon, Bama, Miami, BYU, and then it's going to be a two-loss Ohio State team. They're not going to be 5, so we could be 5. We have a very good chance of being 5. We have a good chance of being 5. So, because two-loss Texas isn't getting 5. We could get 5, and then you're looking at 6 would be. I don't know, man. Georgia, and then 7 would be probably Notre Dame. 8 is maybe Texas. 9 is like, I don't know, man. I don't know how it's going to play out.
It's a lot to clump, yeah.
Is Ohio State getting in with 2 losses, and then is Texas getting in with 2 losses? And you know what they're going to do if we get 5? Well, I don't know. I think we have a good shot at getting 5. But like what happens, man? Because I hope to God that Oregon beats Ohio State. I hope, because I don't want them to get in at all.
Yeah.
I want to watch Kirk Herbstreit. Like, dude, this is the guy that the 1 year Ohio State didn't get into the top 4. He got up and left during a live broadcast.
Because
he's a clown.
Yeah.
I mean, but SMU 12, yeah. So Omid, I think so.
Omid's back.
LOL. So I think SMU runs Miami.
Yeah, I mean it could happen.
They could. There's no one on this show that thinks that Miami is worthy of being 3, but they're in the ACC, so Miami's not that good.
They throttled Wake Forest today. I'm not impressed. Right. I mean,
all right, so Texas will get in. Okay, so if Ohio State loses to Oregon, they lost to the number 1 team twice, tactically. Yeah. So I think no matter what, we're getting 5. So going off of what these 2 guys just said, it's going to be like Oregon, Bama, probably Miami, and then BYU, and then it's us, and then it's
Auburn's up 21-0 now. Texas A&M.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it's going to be maybe Texas at 6, Notre Dame 7, Georgia 8. Well, no, or Georgia will be above Texas, so it'll be us at 5, Georgia 6, I guess, Texas 7, Notre Dame 8, someone at 9.
Yeah, but the committee's so unpredictable right now. Like, I don't even know if any of us are going to get this right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I mean, we can go all night long with this because, again, it's just
because they're. I don't know what they're good. I don't think they know what they're going to do. They got 12 people for a reason.
All I know is, man, all I know for us is we're in a good spot because if we beat Maryland, okay, if we beat Maryland, we're not going to be penalized by losing the championship game because I don't think we get in. Now, if Michigan beats Ohio State, which
then we go.
I don't think is going to happen.
No.
If Ohio, okay, so if we beat Maryland, we're looking at. I think we're getting in at 5 because Oregon. I think Oregon beats Ohio State. Okay. I pray to God that happens, because if not, they're getting 5. We're not getting 5. We're 6, and we're playing who knows who. But it's going to be Oregon, Bama, Miami, or it doesn't matter. Miami or SMU does not matter because Miami will be knocked out if they lose the championship game. They're not getting in. They're not going to be above us. BYU, and then it's probably us at 5, and then Ohio State and Texas in there somewhere. So I'd rather take the bye week and rest up for the 5 spot and a home playoff game. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I think we're going to get the 5 spot. I just kind of now realize this right now that I think we're going to get the 5 spot.
5 or 6. We're not going any lower than that, but 5 or 6.
So
for sure.
if Oregon loses to Ohio State, I think they're not number one. They're not the number one championship. They're not the number one champion. So I think it's Bama is going to be the number one champion. So they're going to be number one, and then it's Bama, and then
no,
Ohio State.
Ohio State, if they beat Oregon, they only have 1 loss to Oregon. They only have 1 loss total. Alabama has 2 losses. So Ohio State would get the number 1 seed, probably.
Ohio State will be. God.
Yeah, probably.
God,
Think about it.
I hate this world sometimes.
They could beat Oregon, but like you said, Oregon should be able to handle them. We'll see.
If OSU lose the Big Ten championship, we get Oregon number 1, Bama 2, Boise 6, Georgia 7, OSU 8, Texas 9, Indiana 10, Tennessee 11, Big 12 champ, but depends on the Big 10 champ.
So, not to throw a monkey wrench into your plan, Mark, but there's one particular thing I think we need to point out that might happen if Ohio State does lose. You say we got the 5 spot wrapped up. What if the committee decides that beating Texas A&M and beating an Army team that was undefeated, what if that was the time that Notre Dame decided to jump us in the standings?
Win?
I mean, they could jump us, but
I'm saying I think that will be closer than what we think, because like, what do we have on our schedule? Because again, when we faced certain teams at the time, we didn't have those big wins. Like your biggest win on the record, like for what they saw with a ranking, and we beat Illinois when they were 20th ranked. Like that was our biggest win.
Notre Dame's not jumping us. They're going to 7, but they're not jumping us, I don't think.
Yeah. They lost to NIU. We didn't lose to a high school team. So that's the thing.
Okay.
That's why they're not allowed to jump us. If they do, then these people need brain surgery, instantly, right now. You know what I mean? We didn't lose that.
Was the only hiccup I thought. Maybe that would be the one wrench they'd throw in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that.
If Notre Dame lost to an actual team, then it would make sense. But they lost to Northern Illinois.
You're looking at losses, Jared. Our loss is Ohio State. Their loss is Altoona. So, yeah. So
fair enough.
Yeah, Notre Dame issue is, even though ESPN wants to talk about them, their ranked wins are Navy and things like that. Yeah, and the win we had tonight, I think the committee does not, like you guys just said, I don't think the committee will penalize us. I thought we'd drop a little bit just because, but I don't think we get penalized for that win, man. That was on the road. No. Minnesota is not an easy team.
They're 6-4. They're 3 plays away from being 8-2. So
yeah, and that was a very gutsy win. Gutsy win. I mean, and they won by 1. So that's we were what, 12-point favorites?
Something like that. 11.5, something like that.
So yeah.
Special teams, man.
There's no way on God's green earth that Notre Dame would jump us. I mean, I know what Jared's saying, but yeah. So it's going to be Oregon, Texas, Miami, Boise, Ohio State, us, Notre Dame, Bama, Georgia, what? I don't know. Arizona State at 10. So
yeah.
11.5. We were 11.5 favorites.
I almost picked Arizona State for a new dynasty in college football, but I picked San Diego State because I want to do like a team that's not as good and win a championship. So I almost picked Arizona State though. Would have been a good pick.
I'll be honest. When I heard you say Arizona State, I'm like, wait, they're in the same conference as SM. Wait, which one are they in? ACC or Big 12?
They're in the Big 12.
Yeah, I totally blanked on that when I saw the standings. I'm like, oh, geez, there's Arizona State. And this whole time they've been there practically neck and neck. Now they have an opportunity to get there. You're right.
Yep.
Texas State, OMID has one.
Michigan beat Northwestern 50-6 today. Good for them. They're bowl eligible.
Nice.
All right, so we kind of know what the picture is going to look like this week. I'm probably going to do an episode live Tuesday night. Jared, will you be available?
Which one? Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Brett, will you be available?
What time?
What time is the show, Brett? Or,
I think it's 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I think it's 7:30 or 8.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I might be able to jump on after work. I got to make sure I eat because I don't have time to eat dinner before I get off. So I could probably do it right after that.
Are you?
No.
Okay. I'm just But so we got this is what we're looking at. We kind of know what the rankings are going to look like right now. Kind of have an idea of what they're going to look like at the end. I mean, okay, here's another thing too, man. We want Oregon to beat Ohio State because if Oregon does not beat Ohio State, we're not getting 5. Oregon's getting 5. Okay, so if Oregon beats Ohio State again, we're getting 5. Ohio State is behind us. That's it. So we are Oregon fans right now, and we are beat Maryland fans right now because dude, and I've heard it on Sirius XM. Like we could easily get the 5 seed. It could happen. There is no doubt about it. We could get the 5 seed, and I mean, thanks, Illicit.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, you guys know on this show we do not you're gonna get like literally raw, unfiltered opinions. Yeah, AQ Shipley said that 5 seed. Where did he say that, Illicit? Because on Sirius XM, I don't know who was talking about it the other day, but they were talking about how Penn State could be at 5. Kirk Herbstreit.
Is he a co-host on the Pat McAfee show?
Kirk Herbstreit today, he's like, yeah, they could get a 5 seed. Like, look at that. It's like, and then he's got his dog running around.
Yeah.
Oh, Pat McAfee show. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he a co-host on the Pat McAfee show.
Dude, when Pat McAfee came to State College, he said he went into the bookstore in the hub. He said, "Do you guys have any AQ Shipley jerseys?" And I guarantee you, none of them knew who that was, which is sad. But I agree. Go Oregon, but to be honest, Oregon versus OSU as a neutral site worries me. Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, I'm right there with you. That's a good
Oregon's
point.
the better team, man. Oregon is the better team. They just are.
Bud,
it doesn't mean they win.
Say the quarterback's name for the Ohio State.
Will
Howard.
Peyton Manning Howard.
Yeah, Will Howard. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the biggest boneheaded move a quarterback could have made away from them beating Oregon at Oregon. If he had not done what he did to run out that clock when he slid, then I don't know if we're talking about that. So
you know what sucks about us losing to Ohio State is we lost to like the most mid, like average, like quarterback that
Shedeur Sanders is better than Will Howard. Yes,
I mean Will Howard, dude. The fact that he slid at the end of the game to beat us is like that's just like the universal karmic justice that we get every year against Ohio State. The fact that guy is ending the game. He is the most mid quarterback. Ohio State hasn't had a quarterback since C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
That Kyle McCord kid sucked. Will Howard is not good. He's not that good. He's just a system guy. And then you got...
and
then we got like Drew Aller and we can't beat him. I mean, it's like, whatever. But I blame Day for that. He should have ran to the middle of the field, called the timeout. Yeah.
They both suck. Day and...
I mean, dude, Will Howard is not... That pick 6 he threw, that was such a horrible throw. Like, that was such a bad throw. I mean, that was a great play by us.
Yeah, but...
Kyle McCord threw 3 pick 6s in one game against Pitt.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, he threw 3 pick 6s in the first quarter, didn't he?
That's got a record. Like, has anyone ever done that before? Like, not just 3 picks, but the fact that they're all touchdowns.
They're all touchdowns.
Mind-boggling. That's
you know what's crazy? The one record in the NFL, this quarterback for I forget who, but he had like 6 interceptions in the first half, and I'm pretty sure he was hammered. Like,
Sounds
he was
about
hungover. So Kyle McCord, I don't know if he was hammered during the game. He might have been, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the guy that and stupid stuff will probably know, but he was literally hammered. Like he was in the NFL. And then they used to smoke cigarettes and drink beer at halftime. Kenny Stabler, he was drunk his whole career. I mean, and Brett, you know who that is. I mean, that guy literally would play Penn State hammered, and he would just go out there and just throw the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had long hair, a good left arm. He just go out there like stumbling around, throwing the ball. Deacon Jones was like clotheslining people. You know, it was just, yeah. I'm not so sure. Cost 22. It's good to have you back. I'm not so sure Oregon beats a second time, just my opinion. Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a close game again, just like last time.
Just,
it's going to be a bulldog fight.
I just really, really want Oregon to win, but I agree with you. Like, yeah, I want Oregon to beat them just as much as I want us to beat them. But does that... Because here's the thing. Like I said, I do believe that Oregon, in terms of them winning again, I think they have a better chance. But does that happen? I mean, Ohio State they're the, they're the Chiefs of college football. They get, everything goes their way. I mean,
everything.
That interception they had against us in the end zone, like,
Ohio State Buckeyes.
How does that happen, dude? Like,
Ohio State Buckeyes, dude.
That's a good name.
You know what made me so happy? That guy got called for pass interference today. Finally, for once in his entire life, I was like, thank God. Thank God they got him just once.
Yeah, and then Caleb Downs ran into the end zone with the Tyreek Hill peace sign, and I'm like, dude, no. Just no.
It was pathetic special teams on the other teams.
Yeah, and he's going into the end zone with his peace sign up. It's like, dude, first of all, you're a safety. You don't look like a natural punt returner at all, and you got the peace sign thrown up. Like, that's
well, you can't legally drink beer yet, so go ahead and throw your peace sign up. That's sweet.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you see the Indiana game today? They called 2 pass interferences, and OSU had to adjust. Indiana was targeting him.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. They said that early on.
I was happy.
Joel Klatt said that early on. They're going. That's interesting that they're doing that. But yeah. Good old stupid stuff. Who was the dude that threw like 6 interceptions in the first half? But that was Kenny Stabler's like whole right. Kenny Stabler, right, Brett?
Sounds familiar. I'm trying to think.
Well, you're a Raiders fan.
Yeah, Kenny Stabler was good though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know he was, but absolutely, he was just hammered the whole time.
Well, that was still before my time, wasn't it?
Brett, you remember like Kenny Stabler was like an alcoholic, right?
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of the guy. He looks like he's had a drink or 17.
Well, yeah, he looks like an alcoholic for sure. He went through it. I'm surprised he lasted that long. I mean, he was what?
All-star alcoholics, Kenny Stabler.
I mean, he played before I was born, so like I know about Kenny Stabler, but I've never seen him play. Yeah, I've never seen him play. Born in 45. Holy, what's that makes him? He would have been, yeah. He died in 2015. So.
Colon cancer.
All-star alcoholics. Modern Drunkard magazine.
Look at him. That's like a mugshot. Look at him.
Looks like George Carlin at football.
That's a picture after his DUI. He's like.
Dude, they say this is when he was 39 right here.
Oh my God. What?
It's like he's 59. Good Lord. Ryan Tannehill. That's who it was. Wait,
Ex-Raiders star Stabler arrested on 3rd DUI charge. But yeah, man.
I just said 4th. I was just kidding. It was just 3rd.
Did you see?
That's awesome.
Ryan Tannehill. What about Ryan Tannehill?
Was that the 6th interception, guys?
The guy said we're through a 6th interception.
No, that was
well, maybe he did
not
it too.
Ryan Tannehill. There was that dude that threw like 4 interceptions in the first half, like a couple years ago.
I'm just kidding.
But this was a record like back in the day where he threw like 6 interceptions in the first half or something.
He
But
said
Kenny Stabler, that was the thing about the Steelers games back then was you had like the Steel Curtain defense because the Steelers Raiders, that was like the most bitter rivalry there was. I mean, there's guys getting taken out on stretchers.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean,
I'm seeing
like,
Ryan Fitzpatrick for that question. I just looked that up.
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Quarterbacks who threw 6 interceptions in a game. It says Ryan Fitzpatrick.
But I don't think that was hit.
I don't think he slept that night. Like, how do you sleep after that, dude? Like, that's bad. He was up all night. He probably has PTSD and insomnia just from that night, dude. Holy cow.
It was, I think it's Jim Hardy. Hold on.
That was 8. Yeah, he threw 8. Jeez.
Jim Hardy? Jim Hardy?
Yeah, threw 8 interceptions in a game. 8 in one game.
Yeah,
Jim Hardy, 8 interceptions in one game.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the story is that he had 8 interceptions in the game, and he said like he was just unbreakable records. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna play this. I mean, imagine playing an NFL game drunk. It's such a horrible idea.
I mean, people have played it high, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Why can't you guys hear it? Where's my sound at?
Huh.
Be right back, guys.
All right, bud.
All right. That's weird that there's no sound.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's odd.
That is
But
odd.
yeah, he's talking about it here. Anyway. Let me see. I don't know why it won't play, but I'll bring it back. But yeah.
I mean, heck, dude, Todd Blackledge threw 6 interceptions in a game back in 1985 for the Chiefs. So
For the Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went above No, he went behind John Elway, but
yeah,
he went above Dan Marino that year, I think.
yeah, that was a good draft class.
All right, I'm going to try to find it. Yeah, man, I can't believe that.
Did you know that
Jim Hardy did that? I mean, that's just insane.
during the NFL season opener, Chicago Cardinals
Wait, hold on.
I can hear him.
You guys can't see it. All right. What the heck? That's so weird. As soon as I put it on the sharing screen, it doesn't play the sound.
Huh.
All right, I'll just play the sound.
Real like radio?
Worst NFL performances ever. And I don't care if anybody says that Jamarcus Russell is the worst NFL quarterback. I don't care what you say or what you think. Jamarcus Russell is not the worst NFL quarterback ever. Neither is Ryan Leaf. Yes, Jim Hardy did break records, and he is an NFL legend. Let's just say that. But during a game versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Jim Hardy threw 8, not 2, but 8 interceptions in one game. And that's a record nobody is probably ever going to beat. Like I said, you can't say Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell is worse. That was absolutely bad. And this is just one game. Not 3, not 2, not 5. This is one game. No, I don't think he's the worst NFL quarterback because he did make the Pro Bowl in 1950. But what I am saying is Jim Hardy throwing those 8 interceptions is what he's most known for.
Yeah, and then yeah, like I'm pretty sure the story was he was just like he was either still drunk or hungover or something. Like, that's why it happened.
Right.
Makes sense.
But for that to happen, like for you to allow 8 interceptions in a game, that is like playing golf and the hole is the size of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Say, good God. You can't make it
So
any
bad.
easier for the other team than that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was, you know, that's I don't know how we got off on that, but yeah. That's what we're kind of looking at with the playoff right now. And I mean, we could get the 5 spot. At the end of the day, that's something that could happen. So it's definitely feasible. It's definitely possible. We just need Oregon to beat Ohio State. And, you know, our luck could change. And, you know, but that's the thing. We could also run into Ohio State in the playoff. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, there's so much that could happen. Yeah.
But here's another thing. You have to also consider this too, not to interrupt anyone, but you have to also think when we play Maryland, beat them. I mean, like government mule thing, like the old JR with Professor, beat him like a government mule. Like just you got to be able to destroy this team. I'm
50-6.
talking no closer than like 42-10 kind of ordeal. Like if you don't do something like that against Maryland, dude, then the committee will. If you make it close, if you perform horribly against Maryland and you squeak out that win, then I will say that they will look at us and be like, well, they're 11-1, but a lot of those wins aren't that impressive. Because again, the USC win, they're now what, 4-6, 4-5. They're terrible. The Wisconsin win at one point was good, but now I think they're 5-5, 5 and whatever. There's just not a lot of good wins on our resume right now. And it's just like, I'm not saying I'm skeptic, but you got to also be aware that these are the types of things that they look at, and I just need to have them just destroy Maryland. Just don't leave anything. Like you're a lion on the Serengeti, don't leave a single piece of meat on that carcass. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. They do, Jared. You're right. They do have to come in and dominate style points. For sure, and they can do that, and I think they will because you know they have a bye week at least. Now Illinois lost, only ranked team we beat.
Yeah, Illinois. That's the only ranked team on our schedule.
They won today, which is good because they'll still be ranked, so that's good for us.
Yeah, they did win cost.
That's a good.
Still,
yep, that's a good one. I like that comparison. Being like Purdue. Yep.
But I was just going back. Sorry, I'm still distracted by Jim Hardy. But they said this one comment. It was in 1950, the Chicago Cardinals. It said, this comment says, I bet everyone playing fantasy was just kicking themselves when they benched him after 8 picks and missed out on his 7 TD performance the following week. Which he did. He had 7 touchdowns the next week. Which, again, I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen and heard that he was drunk when he did that. I mean, he was like just totally gone.
I feel bad for his backup.
Yeah, we have to beat them like we beat Purdue. You're right, Omen. We got to beat them down like we did at Purdue. Yep, which we can. We just have to. Some of the play calling, man. Wallace was getting open. There's a catch or so he should have caught, and Drew was off on a couple of those out routes. That wasn't his route today. Drew wasn't throwing good to the side, but other than that, yeah, Wallace was getting open. He still had a couple catches.
And again, guys, we're going to do a giveaway at some point for 500 subscribers. If you comment on our live chat, all of you guys that have commented, you're already on here anyway, and you have been on here, but you're automatically entered to win the giveaway. So we're going to do 500 subs giveaway to celebrate 500 subs milestone. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to do an even bigger one, but next, so the final topic of the night, everyone. Who leaves after this year from Penn State? Who's leaving? Guys in the comments, Brett, Jared, who's leaving this year? Or who's staying? I mean, whatever you want to say. Who's leaving, who's staying? Yeah.
It depends. I mean, Drew Aller is the big one, man. Like, if it looks like he's going like a first round, then he's probably gonna go. I don't see him staying. At the same time, that one's up in the air to me. I don't really know if Drew's staying or going. You said You had.
I think he's. I think he stays.
You said you had some birdies say that he's probably staying. So
Yeah, ask your sources, Brett. I think your sources would.
Yeah, yeah. I can look into it. I think he's probably gone.
Yeah.
Katron and Nick. Katron and Nick probably both go, in my opinion, because they're NFL running backs. The wear and tear on a running back there's a lot of tear on that. So I mean, they're probably gonna go.
I think they stay. That's my opinion.
I'm kind of agreeing with Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they stay.
Yeah, Brett. Keep going, Brett. You're giving your opinion. That's.
Abdul Carter definitely goes. He's a top 10 pick. It's not even. Yeah, he's for sure going. Yeah, Abdul Carter's going for sure. Let's see. Who else? Denada Sutton's gonna stay, man, because he had an injury. Drew, you think Drew stays?
Are you a Penn State fan, or are you the Notre Dame guy?
No, I don't think he is.
I don't think.
Remember him? You remember who I'm talking about?
I remember you were talking about. I don't think that was Omid.
Yeah,
I mean, Jalen Reed obviously goes because he's a senior.
He's probably going. Yeah, I think he has to. He has no eligibility left. Denada Sutton's going to stay because he had an injury. His season that messed his season up. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to stay if he can get healthy and have a better season. He's Penn State fan. Okay,
huge Penn State fan, so he's not that other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget what that guy
is.
I forget his name, but I think he had a similar profile picture, so that's why I thought. So okay. Denai stays. You think Katron and Nix leave? You think Drew stays?
Probably.
Tyler Warren's running for president, so he has to leave.
He's dipping.
I think he's going to be in. I think he'll be in Trump's cabinet probably in some form or fashion. He'll be the head of like athletic ability or something like that.
Yeah.
Zane Durant is a junior. Do you think he might go to the NFL? Do you think he is NFL caliber stuff yet, or does he stick?
He can definitely play in the NFL. He can definitely play in the NFL, but I hope he stays, man. I hope he does like Devon Ellis did. He stayed.
Yeah.
And the fact that Akeem Beamon just left, that's
that was weird.
That's bad because. So I think Zane Durant. What year is he, Brett or
Zane Durant?
He's a junior.
All right, I think he stays. Yeah, I think he'll stay.
We need him to stay.
I mean, if he stays, man, like he's going to be the best defensive tackle coming out next year
in the country. Yeah.
He could be probably a preseason All-American. I mean, he's that good.
He's so
Tony
quick,
Rojas is coming back, obviously.
Yep.
I think AJ Harris has to go because he's a senior.
No, he's only a sophomore. True sophomore.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of someone else.
So we're good there.
And then, like, all of our linemen are pretty much coming back.
Yeah, they're all coming back.
Right.
None of them can.
What about Rucci? What year is he?
He's a junior, redshirt junior.
He's
he's gonna stay because he needs to get better.
Why haven't we seen him?
He played today because Anthony Donko got hurt. He played the whole game.
I know, but why haven't we seen him before? He just hasn't cracked the starting lineup, I guess.
Anthony Donko's been that good. Anthony Donko's a redshirt freshman playing out of his mind. He was the one who went out after the first drive. He's been playing really good. He's better at pass blocking than Rucci is. Rucci will get there, I think, but he didn't have enough playing time at Wisconsin. You know what I mean? He didn't have enough live reps, and he had to put some weight on. He's tall, but he had to put on some pounds.
All right, so secondary wise, first of all, receiver. We're gonna have I mean,
except for Fleming.
Who's leaving? Julian Fleming's leaving, right? That's it.
Yes.
Yep. He was out. He was out today, by the way. You guys saw that? He was injured, I guess.
Yes, I did.
And then, Alyssa, you're right. And then with the secondary, who we're losing in the secondary?
What's his name? The 5th-year senior from Florida, Kimber. Jalen Kimber's going to go. I mean, he's a senior. He's the only one from the secondary that's able to go, other than Jalen Reed. So he didn't play good today.
Jalen Kimber, my favorite part of the season was when he knocked that guy out of bounds of West Virginia.
Yeah, and then swore and said some stuff. That was good.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got AJ Harris is probably coming back. Cam Miller can come back. Cam Miller's coming back.
Cam Miller's coming back.
Zaki Wheatley can come back. Jalen Reed, he's gone.
He's gone.
We got
yeah.
we got DeJuan Lane coming in.
Yep.
Who'd you just say is leaving? Oh, Jalen Kimber. Yeah.
Jalen Kimber for sure. Alonzo Ford will come back. He got hurt today. Hopefully it's just a little bump. He's been looking really good, number 50 on the defense, so he's been looking good.
Well, it says he's a redshirt senior, Alonzo Ford.
But he was out. That's wrong, though, because he missed the whole year with injury. So he has
right. He did. Yeah.
He's got an injury year, so he'll come back for sure. Yeah, next year.
Why did I say Devon Ellis?
He's a 6-year senior. He's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's listed. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing you what I'm looking at.
Javonte Thomas. He changed his last name. It's probably one of his parents' side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's like Jason Owe. He
changed
his name to adopt.
He changed his. Yeah.
I mean, did you guys say Therese Mills? I mean, that's a redshirt senior.
Who?
Therese Mills.
So I think coming back. We think
Tyrese Mills. He got hurt today. He got hurt today. He's only been playing a little bit. I don't know if he has more time or not because he came from Lackawanna College. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I want to say right now about Drew Aller. I don't think that guy wants to leave, man. I mean, why would he leave? So. I think he has too much pride in the program. But we got Donka, redshirt freshman. Sal Wormley, he's out.
He's
Jake
out.
Dawkins is out. We got Vega Ione. We got Drew Shelton. We got
everybody else.
Javen Williams, JB Nelson, or JB Nelson's gone. We got Dom Rowley, Cooper Cousins, Nolan Rucci, and then we got Birchmeyer. He's in there too. Chimdiona. I mean, they're all young guys. Egan Boyer's coming in. He's what, like 6'9" or something like that.
He's 6. He played last week. Egan Boyer's supposed to be legit.
And then our tight end room, man, we're looking at Luke Reynolds, Khalil Dinkins, Jerry Cross, Joey Schlaffer. We got Andrew Rappelier coming in. That's the most stacked tight end. Yep. And they're what? Jerry Cross is a 4-star guy. Khalil Dinkins was a 4-star. Joey Schlaffer was like 4 or 5. Luke Reynolds, I think, was 5. Andrew Rappelier is a 5. And then a quarterback, man, like,
Ethan Grunkemeyer.
Bo is the same age. Well, he's essentially got 2 more years than Drew does. So let's say Drew comes back for his senior year. Bo is still there the next year. You got Grunkemeyer. We got Beckham Kritza coming in.
Yep.
We got that other kid coming in, that kid from, I think he's from Pennsylvania, that tall kid. And then running back, we got Quentin Martin, we got Corey Smith, we got Cam Wallace. I mean, we're set, man.
Yeah.
We're pretty set right now.
Yeah, we are.
But again, that's the talent. They just got to execute on the field. So we got the players, we got the depth, man. And that's one thing that T. Frank was saying today. And by the way, like, T. Frank is the man. Like, if you really want to listen to good content, he has good content. One reason why I want to come on here right after a game is because that's what they do. And it's not that I'm trying to compete with them, but I want to give like post-game content quickly as well. For those of you that want to listen to us. And some of you guys that comment on our stuff, you comment on their stuff. So it's good to have you on both shows. But yeah, T. Frank's really good at what he does. And he was saying earlier that before, like when Saquon Barkley was around, you had like one guy, maybe another guy with some depth at each position. Now you have like 1.5, 2, 3 guys at each position. And that makes it way better. Now I will say this too, man. The fact that we lost to Ohio State, I do think that for everyone involved, except Franklin, because he's pretty much the same no matter what, but for everyone involved, it made them more hungry. And I think if we go into the playoff game with the depth that we have, with the rotations that we have, and the fact that some of these guys know they're leaving, I mean, I think we're going to see a pretty damn good team, and we got a good shot, especially if we get that 5 spot. I'm telling you, man. Okay, so if Ohio State beats Oregon, are we still gonna get 5, even though Oregon loses in the last game.
Probably get 6.
We'll get
I think
6.
we'll stay where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably get 6. I think regardless. That's my thoughts on it. I just think because of the strength of schedule, the SEC homers are going to come into it and say Georgia had the number 1 strength of schedule. It's just such a mess, dude. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Alyssa thinks Drew's going to the draft. Yeah, Omen thinks he's coming back. Winston is hurt, but what year is he in?
He would have been a junior this year, but was out the whole year, so
yeah, he'll be back.
Eligibility.
I mean, man,
I'll be back.
I'm telling you, man, if we had him against Ohio State, I think we would have had a better shot, to be honest with you.
Oh,
he's such a key player on our defense. He's probably the best player we had on our defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that time, Zakee Wheatley wasn't really picking up at that time, but Zakee Wheatley's playing out of his mind now, but he needed some time. And KJ Winston's just, nobody's like him on the back end. He's just insane. So I think we'll be good with him next year, for sure.
He thinks Drew stays because of the guys going to the draft. And then Alyssa says we'll stay at 6 if Oregon loses. But again, I mean, all right, you guys in the comments, do you think Oregon beats Ohio State?
Neutral field. I personally would say it would probably take a 38 to 35, 42 to 40, kind of bout for that to happen. But yeah, they're going to have to score a bunch on Ohio State's defense, which I think is doable, I think. But again, you're talking about what Ohio State always does as opposed to what we want Oregon to do. Because it just seems like every time Ohio State has the opportunity to redeem themselves, they never miss.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries on both teams right now, so it's really hard to say who's going to play in that game. Are they going to be healthy? Oregon had Ted Johnson, one of their best receiver. He was out against Wisconsin. Is he going to come back for that game? Well, I don't know, because they need him because they didn't look good without him against Wisconsin. And then Ohio State just lost their center, Seth McLaughlin. So, I mean, today it didn't matter because they played Indiana, and they're just not going to be as physical as Ohio State. So, against Oregon's defensive tackles, who if they're healthy and they're back, it could be a close game. So, I don't know.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, listen, that's a good point.
The refs.
What? Yeah, I think Oregon wins, but but at the end of the day, man, if Oregon wins, we're at 5. It's that simple. So
yeah,
I think no matter what, that's what happens. Because, all right, I'm gonna try to. Let me see here. Yeah, so there's the bracket. Because like I said, at the end of the day, man, like, all right, we'll look at it one more time, then we'll jump off. I think Brett wants to stay on for like another hour, but we'll jump off.
Another hour.
Another hour.
Insane. That's the length of a football game. If we stay on another hour, it's the length of the actual game with halftime.
It's like a Joe Rogan episode. Yeah. So, okay. So Oregon wins. Okay, Oregon wins. There's no way we're not at 5. There's no way Ohio State jumps us. But let's say Texas beats Alabama. Where does Alabama go? They're below us too, right? Because that'll be their 3rd loss.
That would be, right.
Yep.
Because Alabama's lost to who? They've lost to Vanderbilt and who else?
Alabama lost to wait. Who did they lose to?
Tennessee and Georgia?
They lost to. Did they lose to Tennessee?
I think they did. Alabama, right? We're talking about Alabama.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, Alabama.
Alabama is losing to Oklahoma at the half right now, which is absurd because Oklahoma is terrible. They're losing 10-3 right now. Oh, this is such a mess. Listen, the SEC is Jalen Milroe is 2 for 7 for 62 yards at halftime. That is bad.
Tennessee beat them 24-7. Team.
Alabama, Yeah, they're losing to Oklahoma.
They lost to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. That's the other team. Tennessee and Vanderbilt.
We were right. Tennessee, yeah.
Yep.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt.
Good
Georgia
Lord.
lost to Ole Miss, Alabama, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, that's the thing. People keep talking about how great the SEC is and how Georgia's getting screwed. Dude, they lost to Ole Miss, and Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, man. Like, come on now. Like, we lost to Ohio State.
And had a chance to win that game a few times. So.
All right, guys.
Well, as of right now, Vanderbilt's taking on LSU, and they're just down 14-7, so Vanderbilt don't seem all that bad.
If you check the BCS rankings, they seem to follow those.
They do somewhat.